There is no doubt in my mind that this is going to be the best keyword research video you've ever seen. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Omid. I've been doing SEO for over 10 years now. I built one of the most successful SEO blogs according to Ahrefs, and I've also led SEO at some pretty big tech companies. It's been a while since I made a video. As you can see, I moved. I'm in a new environment, so excuse the lighting. I'm still adjusting to everything here, but I wanted to make this video to basically go over my keyword research strategy that I've been using consistently that has seen pretty much 100% success rate for my clients and even my own website. And this strategy is designed to help you rank not only in Google, but also ChatGPT, Bing, Perplexity, and all these LLMs and AI search engines. I truly believe it is the best way to do keyword research, and I've seen nobody talk about this. And I've spent pretty much the past 10 years developing this framework that I turned into prompts to help guide you through this whole process. And if you actually check out the blog post below, I have all the prompts and this entire video in a written format that you can check out, and I'll show you everything over the shoulder. So let's get right into it. So this is the full blog post that I wrote. Again, you can check it out down below, and I'm just going to walk through this entire process here. I actually turned this blog post into a Claude artifact to make it easier to go over, which I'm kind of foreshadowing that I am going to be using Claude in this video, but you can use ChatGPT or any LLM of your choice. So how to do keyword research and really how to build a content calendar that will pretty much make sure that the content and the keywords you're going after is actually driving real business value. So if you're a startup founder or business owner and you want to figure out how to do keyword research, this video is great for you. If you're a service provider and you sell SEO client services or you sell SEO services to businesses, this is an amazing video for you. If you're a solo media operator like myself and you want to build a blog or a media company, this video is amazing for you. I've pretty much put everything into this video and I put a lot of energy, and I can't even believe that a lot of the stuff I'm going to be going over, I'm just giving away for free. So this is going to be broken down into 5 steps. We're going to go over understanding keyword formats, setting up Claude with the APTK framework, which I'll go over. We're then going to validate these keywords using Google autocomplete. And then when we get into the AEO or GEO or LLM SEO, whatever people want to call it these days, we're going to talk about looking at query fanouts in ChatGPT. And then we're going to have an optional 5th step about creative mode, which I'll explain what that is, using paid tools like Ahrefs or Semrush. But to do this entire strategy, you do not need to pay for any tools. The first step is understanding what are the types of keyword formats. This way, when we go out to do real keyword research video in this video, you actually have a mindset and a mental model on how to actually understand what these keywords mean. So I like to split these up into 3 sections. We have top of funnel, some people call it tofu, we have mofu and bofu. Yeah, marketers. Top of funnel is basically everything that's problem aware, where people are looking for ideas. This can be things like what is X, why is this better than that, benefits of doing so and so. This can also be ideas or inspiration and examples and trends. Like there's an article I wrote about the best SEO trends of 2026, or there can be something like best landing page examples or product landing page examples. These are more the top of funnel types of keywords where they bring in people into your website to know about your brand, but they don't necessarily drive actual conversions or business value. The next is middle of funnel, which is more solution aware. So this is like how-to keywords, tutorials on how to do things, frameworks, strategies, templates, like best website templates or how to do SEO. This video can be a very much like middle of funnel topic. Things like how to build something, how to improve, essentially like how to do something, a job to be done, I would say is in the middle of funnel. And then you have bottom of funnel, which I think is where a lot of your attention needs to be focused on, especially when it comes to AI search. And this is everything that's product aware and is very high intent to actually drive conversions and purchases. This can be something like best roundup posts, like best SEO tools or best marketing tools, or you can be comparing things like Webflow versus WordPress, or you can be doing alternatives like WordPress alternatives. This could be pricing, so like things like Ahrefs pricing, or reviews like Ahrefs review or Aloe yoga pants review. I'm just thinking of like different concepts here. Or it could be services. So if you're a service-based business like plumbing in Los Angeles or hair transplant surgeries in Turkey, these can be more bottom of funnel service pages. So this whole video is basically going to tailor to anyone. If you're an e-commerce company, if you're a software company, if you're a media company, if you're a service business, anything. And really the idea of understanding this first step, which is so important, is that you want to make sure that you're showing up at every stage of the user search journey. So say you sell an SEO tool. I'm just using that because it's just top of mind right now. Going after a top of funnel would be something like best SEO case studies or examples of SEO successes. And then middle of funnel can be like how to do SEO, and then bottom of funnel can be something like best SEO tools. And the idea is that you want to cover everything because topical authority is super important, especially when it comes to SEO today and how I've been able to rank my own website, able to rank my clients' websites for competitive keywords. It's based all around topical depth and covering a specific topic better than anyone else in your niche. This will allow your website to show up in the search results for any search query whenever somebody is anywhere in the search journey. The top of funnel stuff is important because if people are searching your brand, and even if they're not going to actually buy from you, at least your brand starts to get marinated in their mind. You can use that traffic for retargeting campaigns if you're doing ads. There's just so many benefits to going after all these topics. And the idea is just to show up at every stage so your brand marinates in your potential customer's mind. Okay, step 2 is to actually set up a Claude project with the APTK framework. So if you don't know all the full formats within the top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, don't worry. I've created a prompt that basically is my own brain that took me months to put together, that will essentially know everything that I know for you to know as well. But before we give Claude that prompt, let's go over what the APTK framework actually stands for, because it's something I sort of made up. So APTK stands for audience, products, topics, and keywords. So the idea is first we need to figure out who we're trying to sell to, and then, which is our audience, and then we need to figure out the products or the offers that we have that audience needs, and that becomes our products. And then by combining those two, we can discover topics to go after for our keywords. And from there, we take a topic and we derive keywords from that topic, which is why I mentioned that the keyword part of this whole keyword research is actually the last part of it. We're essentially creating a content strategy that is actually going to lead to business. If we start with keywords, then we don't really know how that ties back into our actual core offering as a business, if it actually helps people, if it's what our target customers are actually searching for. So that's why we need to start with the product marketing side of things and really first understand the audience, the products, and then the topics. So let's go ahead and set this up. So this is Claude. I use the desktop version, but you can use the browser version as well. It doesn't matter. I just like the desktop version. And you can use ChatGPT for this as well, but I like Claude a lot more for like work related stuff. And I use ChatGPT more for just like personal or broader research things. So I think Claude is the best for when it comes to SEO use cases. And the great thing about Claude is you can create these workspaces, or what they call projects, where you can basically give a project guidelines or instructions on how to operate based off of the prompts that you give it. So in this case, I'm going to go to the projects tab, and from here, I'm going to click new project, and I'm just going to call this project keyword research tool. And I'm just going to put YouTube so I remember it's from this video. And you can add a description of what you're trying to achieve, but it doesn't matter too much. You can just leave it blank for now and hit create project. Now over here, you'll see your typical chatbot window, and you'll see the different models you can select from. I'm just going to do Sonnet 4.5, but here you can see instructions and files. Files are basically documents or things you want Claude to reference or to know about your brand, but even that doesn't totally matter right now. What really matters is the instructions section. And this will basically prime Claude for when we do keyword research or when we do topical research in Claude to figure out what topics actually match our brand. So I'm going to hit instructions, and then we're going to go ahead and add the APTK framework prompt instruction that you can get from the description below, completely free. So here I'm going to paste it, and we're just going to quickly go over this. As you can see, it's the APTK system prompt. Basically says what the APTK framework is. If you want to learn more about this, you can Google search APTK framework in my article about it comes up, which I kind of explain what the whole concept is. But if you've been subscribed to this YouTube channel, you probably already have a general idea of what it is because I have mentioned it before. But essentially, it primes it on knowing how to think like myself as a strategist. And if you go through it, you can see it knows essentially the top of funnel keywords, the middle of funnel, the bottom of funnel. It knows all these formats for different keywords and all the guidelines. So you can go ahead and look at the instructions, but I'm just going to save the instructions. I've refined this prompt so much, so it's pretty much good to go. Okay, now that Claude is primed with understanding how to be a really good SEO, we need to start giving it prompts to help us actually find topics related to our business. So this is the first prompt I'm going to give it. As you can see, it is sort of in this code format because I copied and pasted it from a code editor. But again, this prompt will be in that same blog post in the description. It's the first link. You can check it out in there as well. So here it's basically saying I'm using the APTK framework to generate content strategy ideas. Note that we're not going to take keywords from Claude or from ChatGPT or any LLM for that matter and actually target those keywords individually, mainly because LLMs don't understand search volume. They don't, at least not today. They don't understand if people are actually searching a specific keyword. You could hack it together by using like Ahrefs MCP or Semrush MCP, but that's a topic for a different video. This, we want to keep it simple, and the simpler it is, the better results we'll actually get. So what we're trying to do here is actually generate topic ideas, which then in the third step of this video will then validate those using actual traditional keyword research methods. So here it basically says my website, my audience, my product. There's 3 sections within these brackets that you need to actually go and edit yourself. So for this video, I'm going to be creating a keyword research strategy for this company called Tempo Labs. It's like a vibe coding prototyping tool. I'm not affiliated with them. It's not sponsored by them or anything. I've just been really liking the tool, and they're not doing a lot of SEO, to be honest. So I want to create a keyword strategy for them. So basically, I'm going to type in the website, my website, which is tempo.new in this case. Input your own website. And then audience, the more detailed you can be here, the better. Obviously, I don't work at Tempo. I don't fully know who they're trying to speak to. I'm just basing it based off who I am as a customer of theirs and how I think the tool is being positioned. So I wrote, the audience is designers and marketers wanting to vibe code prototypes. I think I spelled that wrong. I don't know. Or turn their designs into working software products. Good enough for now. Then for the products or services, here you want to basically, if you're working for a company, look at any service landing pages they have, look at any feature pages that they have, understand what are the features or products that they're trying to promote. Like what is the solution or the offering that they're trying to get people to use? So in this case, I said like maintain design systems, edit code visually, vibe coding tool, design tool, web development tool, design to React code. And I basically took these by looking at their homepage and just analyzing what I thought was the product offerings that they have. And then the rest just kind of goes through some other stuff. You don't need to edit anything. You can read it if you want, but that's pretty much it. And we're going to hit search or enter. Give it a sec and it's going to go through. Again, this is all like very complex prompting, so it might take a second or a few seconds for it to auto-populate. And there we go. Now we can see all the topics related to Tempo Labs based off of what I gave it for the audience and the products. So design to code workflows, visual code editing for non-developers. As you can see, lots of really good stuff. These look like mostly jobs to be done, which is great. It means we're on the right track here. But as you can see, some of this is a little bit broad and maybe not all of it will fit. So here's where you have to use kind of your best intuition or your own specific knowledge on the company that you're trying to grow and figure out what topics actually align the most. And you want to find the one that you're most excited about, the one that aligns the most with the product and the customers are trying to get, and pick just one. But as you can see, it's still a bit kind of broad, so we can shorten this by doing a follow-up prompt. And here, the follow-up prompt, again, it's in the description in that first link. But you don't need to edit anything here. It basically just says, based off the list above, extract a list of concise topic clusters and themes, like 2 to 5 words, and summarize the core idea of each one, because these are kind of more longer tailed. So we're gonna hit search, and it's basically just going to clean up those topics that it gave us. Okay, so now we can see a list of other topics. We can see design to code workflows, visual code editing, rapid prototyping, no code development, MVP building, just a bunch of other topics that we can dive into for our keyword research. Now, the next thing I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna do another prompt. Here again, you can paste this prompt, it's in the description below. And what I want you to do here is pick one topic to go after, or you can kind of combine topics together. So in this case, I'm saying, okay, I like this topic, so you need to change this to insert topic name. And then I want it to give me a list of keyword ideas for this topic based on the APTK framework. Make sure to give me a list of keywords for each stage in the user search journey. Remember, Claude projects, we gave it instructions on how to actually think about the framework and the different stages. So when you mention the APTK framework anytime in this project, it automatically references that instruction, which is why this is so powerful. So in this case, I'm gonna do no code development or prototyping. Let's combine them together and say like no code prototyping. And then we'll hit enter. So now we have a list of topic ideas that we picked one. Now we want to get a list of keyword ideas, but we need to validate these. First, we want to kind of see what makes the most sense here. So as you can see, now it gave us a list based off of the funnel stage. So all the top of funnel stuff, what is no code, benefits to no code prototyping examples, middle of funnel, how to prototype without coding, how to turn designs into prototypes. That's a really good one. Then bottom of funnel stuff like best no-code prototyping tools, no-code prototyping software, tempo alternatives, Figma to code tools, lots of good stuff, probably not the tempo alternatives. So again, AI is great for guiding strategy, and I think every SEO and every marketer should embrace it, but don't think that it's going to replace you. You still need that critical human insight, and you need a human in the loop, but what it can do is help guide the strategy and give you ideas. So let's start with the bottom of the funnel, because I think that's where everybody should start with. Bottom and middle, but we'll start with bottom. In this case, I think best no-code prototyping tools is a really good keyword to potentially go after. But we don't want to just blindly select this and add it to our list of ideas because, again, we don't know if people are actually searching for this. So the next step is going to be actually creating a Google Sheet. You can use Notion, whatever project management tool you want to use to gather all these keywords that you want to go after. In this case, I have a Google Sheet. I'm just going to say keyword research. And here, I usually keep this first one blank. I just put this as meta title because that's going to be the title of the page. And then we can do keyword, and we can do the stage. So like top, middle, bottom, top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, all that kind of stuff. And now basically when we go through the whole keyword research process, we're going to start populating our spreadsheet. So what we want to do here is actually validate that keyword that Claude gave us, the best no-code prototyping tools. Go ahead and open up Google, and basically the autocomplete strategy is you want to slowly start typing in the keyword, and if it auto-populates, then it means people are actually searching that keyword and it's validated and we should add it to our spreadsheet. So we can do best no code proto. So as you can see, there's nothing really populating here. If I go back, we can see some stuff populates, and whatever is auto-populating, like I said, is actually people are searching it and it's in demand. But if I look up no code prototyping, there's nothing. So that is actually not a good keyword to go after, even though Claude gave it to us. But it gave us the idea, and as we were typing, if you notice, there are actually other things related to that keyword that people are actually searching. So in this case, if I backspace and I do best no code space, you can see best no code app builder, best no code website builder, best no code AI app builder. And these are actually things that people are searching. And I actually really like this one, best no-code AI app builder. So let's search that one. And now we want to verify that, you can take this keyword in and of itself. So let's go ahead and take this, add this to our keyword. And this is a bottom of funnel keyword. And what we want to do next is actually look at the SERPs, or the search engine results pages. So in this case, if you watch some of my other videos on, say, how to write a blog post, I'll link it above, you can see that this is actually a good keyword to go after because the top ranking result is not fully optimizing around that keyword. You can see this in their URL slug. So they're going after the -9-best no-code app builders 2024, which is like a while ago. So you can really tell if a page is optimizing around a specific keyword if the exact keyword is in their URL slug. And we can see this one from shipper.now is AI no-code app builders, some variation of it. Some other ones from Lindy, AI app builder, kind of. The only really one here is Zapier, best no-code app builder, but it's not AI app builder. So I think this is a great candidate for this company, Tempo Labs. So great, we can add that to our spreadsheet, and there's the first great keyword that we first use Claude to generate the topic ideas, then we use it to generate a keyword idea based off the topic, then we validate it with Google autocomplete and saw that it wasn't the best, but through that validation process, we did find a better keyword that people are actually searching for. And that's really how you do keyword research at a very advanced level, instead of just firing a keyword research tool and searching for stuff in there, because every SEO, all your competitors are already doing that. It's the most obvious way to do keyword research. This is the non-obvious way where you're actually looking for keywords that people are searching for in real time. And these results can change, or they can be very new, especially around trending topics. For example, this is how I discovered the keyword AI agent platforms that I ranked #1 for. When I first wanted to write an article around that, I saw that no keyword research tool was showing the data for that because it was such a new and emerging trending topic. But because people were actually searching it, Google showed it in autocomplete. So I went after it, and it gets a ton of traffic, as you can see. Actually, way more views on that blog post than any of my YouTube videos. So that was that. We found a good keyword there. Now, what we can also do is validate this using Bing and even Perplexity if you want. It's an extra step. It's not necessary, but I want to mention it. So in Bing, we can do the same thing. Best no code. You can see app builder, website builder, AI app builder. So it does show up. So I think this is a good keyword. You can also try it with Perplexity, best no code. We can see app builder, website builder. As you can see, app builder is constantly coming up, and usually in autocomplete, the higher something is, the more likely it's being searched. But I think if you're a brand new website or you're just getting into a topic, you should try to do something a bit more longer tail that's in the middle of the autocomplete results, because it's going to be less competitive. Now, if you're actually a growing and established brand, then it makes sense to go after like the top first result that comes up. Like for me, I would probably go after the top results for the topic that I'm trying to go after, that I've already created content in. But if I was starting a new topic, I would start in the middle. And basically now you want to just continue to rinse and repeat this. I won't show me doing this for every keyword, because as you saw, it takes some time, but you need to have patience here if you actually want to win at SEO. The whole idea is basically, once you have an idea from an LLM like Claude, validate it by checking the SERPs and seeing what comes up. And what you can do next here is actually see what competitors come up for the given keyword that you validated. So for example, the best no-code app builder or AI app builder, we saw that this result here from Adalo came up, and Adalo is this like no-code app builder. If I go inside of it and check out their site, we can see they are a app builder, similar to not the exact use case of Tempo, but partially there's an overlap there. So this can actually be a great idea to start expanding and generating more ideas within this topic of these no-code prototyping or no-code app builders. So what we want to do now is actually go back to Claude and tell it what we're doing, so it has context into how we're thinking about our strategy. We don't want to kind of leave it in the dust as we're doing our strategy. Here, I want to go to my Claude again, and I want to basically tell it, I like the keyword, best no-code prototyping tools based off of what it gave me here, but it did not autocomplete. I did, however, find the keyword best no-code AI app builder, and I added it to my list. And I noticed that competitors mentioned include Adalo, Webflow, Bubble, Software. I'm just naming some competitors that came up when I searched that result. And then I said, can you give me some bottom of funnel keyword ideas based on this information? And we're just gonna hit enter and give it a sec. Now we can see it's giving us some more bottom of funnel keyword ideas here. So comparison, Tempo versus Webflow, Tempo versus Bubble. These are great landing pages to go after, but I wanna go after non-branded search terms. So here we can see Adalo versus Bubble, Software versus Webflow, Bubble alternatives. These are great keywords to go after. For example, if we do Adalo versus Bubble, we can target that keyword and then in that article, compare those two tools and then mention if there's certain use cases that the users still might need that these tools don't have, they can check out Tempo. So it is kind of like this sneaky strategy where you're comparing two different brands in your niche, whatever the niche is, and then you use their brand name and their existing search demand to kind of brand jack, essentially. I don't know a good word for it. And you insert yourself into that conversation. So we can go after that keyword, write an article about it, and then in that article mention, hey, if none of these tools really work for you, Tempo.labs or Tempo Labs is a great alternative to both of these. But again, we want to double check with Google Autocomplete if what Claude is telling us is actually something people are searching. So in this case, I'll go to Google, I'll type in Adalo versus, and we can see versus Bubble comes up right away. And actually some other ones, Futterflow, Glide, Base44, Replit, Thunkable, all these other tools, Softer, these are all keywords that we can go after if we wanted to. And if I just do a search for these, we can see Adalo again is coming up, Bubble is coming up, some other niche or sites are coming up. So this is another keyword that we can add into our keyword list. So bada bing, bada boom, look at us right there. So yeah, just keep rinsing and repeating this strategy over and over again until you develop a keyword list of actually validated and verified keywords that people are actually searching for. And as you've noticed so far, the two keywords that we went after are so specific to Tempo Labs' audience and product offering that if we rank strong for those keywords, people will convert. And I can just say this from my own website, from my affiliate websites. This is how I do keyword research for affiliate stuff. From my clients' websites, these are their top converting types of content. This is bottom of funnel stuff. And again, this is all tried and true because I put it inside of the APTK framework. So it's not like you're going into ChatGPT and saying, hey, just act as an SEO strategist or an SEO expert. That's not gonna work. You need to basically tell it exactly what an SEO expert knows so then it can actually do stuff like that, which was the APTK framework instructions we added in the Claude project. Okay, that's pretty much it now. But the last two steps of the keyword research strategy is one is around ChatGPT and AEO, AIO, SEO, search, whatever you want to call it. And the other one is the creative mode. So in step 5. So let's go over step 4, which is validating our keywords for AI search. In this case, we're going to call it AEO, which is answer engine optimization. So this matters because LLMs like ChatGPT, they do web searches when they're answering prompts. And if you can understand what ChatGPT searches when a user inputs a prompt, you can have a better chance of showing up in AI search results by optimizing around those web searches. And really, if you're doing good SEO, which is like what we talked about so far of understanding the user search journey and covering every keyword that you possibly can in that user search journey, you will show up in AI search engines. I know this because it's worked for my clients and it's worked for my own website. So good AEO is basically just SEO with more depth. It's how I've done SEO, but it's not how everyone does SEO, which is I think where there's a sentiment around AI search ranking for that is different, is simply because there's a different strategy and the more depth that you have to cover. So how can we figure out what prompts people are searching for? Now, there are a lot of cool visibility tools for AI out there, but none of them really give you real prompts that people are searching for. At the moment that I'm recording this video, there's no like ChatGPT webmaster tools, like there's a Google Search Console where we can see how many times somebody is searching a certain keyword phrase or term. What you have to do here is pretty much guess. You have to guess what prompts people are searching for. You can ask Claude or ChatGPT, like, what are some prompts that people would be searching for based off of this keyword, like in our case, no code AI app builders. But really it's all still an educated guess. So the best strategy here is either to talk to your existing customers that found you through ChatGPT and ask them what they searched, which is going to be kind of hard because they probably forgot. Or if you intuitively know how people are searching about your brand, maybe you look at Reddit for what people are searching for, you can use those as prompt ideas. Again, you can ask Claude or open ChatGPT or anything and ask it prompts, but for this case, I'm going to assume a prompt here. So our keyword was best no-code AI app builder. We know that's a great keyword to go after. Now we can turn this into a prompt by simply turning it into a question and saying what are the best no-code AI app builders? So in this case, I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm just going to search what are the best no-code AI app builders. And we're going to search this. And as you can see, it's triggering a web search. If you notice that, it did it really fast. So every time that, a lot of times when you're doing middle of funnel or bottom of funnel searches, it triggers a web search, and that's where we want to show up. We want our brands to show up. And as you can see, when it did that web search, it found things like Bubble, Butterflow, Adalo, Glide, Base 44, a lot of stuff that we were already seeing in Google. But what did it actually search? Now you can actually figure this out. And what this is essentially a query fan out. It's a fancy way of basically saying that ChatGPT breaks your prompt into multiple keyword searches. And then what it does is it aggregates the results of all those searches into one answer that it gives you. So in theory, if we know the keywords that ChatGPT searches for a given prompt, if we can optimize and make sure we're going after those keywords, in theory, we will show up in ChatGPT over time. How do you actually do this? Now, let me show you right now. You can read this here, but let me just show you over the shoulder. What you want to do is in your ChatGPT window, once you search the prompt, you want to right click and inspect the page. From there, you want to go to network. And what you want to do is go to the URL of your ChatGPT window that you're currently in, and you want to basically copy this ID from the end of the URL and you want to paste it into this network section. As you can see, nothing comes up. So just as is, all I want to do is just simply refresh the page. And then you can see that all these are popping up and we want to find that exact ID. It looks like this. It has these little orange brackets here. And this is essentially the ChatGPT window that what's happening in the background. Once we click there, we can see all the code that is happening once it searches this prompt. And we want to click anywhere into here. So we see this little icon thing or this little flash. And we want to do Command F if you're on a Mac or Control F if you're on a Windows PC. And what you want to do is it's going to populate this find window. We want to just type in queries. And as you can see, if we scroll down, we can see this search models, query type, and query. And this is what it's searching for to basically generate the answer. So you can see it's saying best no-code AI app builders, no-code AI platforms, what are the popular no-code AI app builders 2025, how to build AI application without coding, which no-code AI app builders exist, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot. And it's kind of nonsense to say that this is an entire keyword, but really what we want to do is figure out the patterns of what it really cares about. So in this case, we can see that it's best no-code AI app builders. It's searching that. So great. We already have a proper strategy there of going after the keyword that we're supposed to go after, which was the best no-code AI app builders. But we can also see that it says how to build AI applications without coding. So that's a middle of funnel keyword that we should probably create a piece of content around that topic as well if we want to have the better chance of showing up for this given prompt. And sometimes these will trigger things like no code app comparisons. So then we have to actually go and create those comparison articles. The whole idea again is that we're trying to cover as much depth as we can within a specific topic. And when we have that breadth of content within our topic and we build that topical authority, that is when we have the best likelihood of showing up in ChatGPT. without having to get mentioned by other brands and all that stuff, which is like another topic for another video. This is stuff that we can control. Okay, now the last step, which is optional, is basically doing what I like to call creative mode in Ahrefs or Semrush or a keyword research tool of choice. It just has to be able to add modifiers and filters. So there's two strategies in here. One is filtering by the lowest DR, which is domain rating. And basically you type in a short tail keyword in Keywords Explorer in Ahrefs. You go to matching terms and you filter by lowest DR, say anywhere between 5 and 10, and then you find keywords where low authority sites are ranking. So what does this look like in practice? We can basically type in any keyword, any topic that we want to go after. In this case, we're in the space of AI tools, so I want to go as broad as possible. In this case, I'm going to do AI tool and hit search. Then I'm going to go to matching terms. And here we can see all the terms related to AI tools. Again, every SEO, all your competitors are basically doing this. So chances are these keywords, they're also aware of it. So what we want to do now is actually filter this by the lowest DR. So in here I hit lowest DR and I could do in the top 5 or let's say the top 10. And I can do something like 5, 10, 15, whatever. Let's do like 15 and hit apply. Now, what this does is essentially it shows us keywords where there's pages ranking for that keyword that have a domain rating or domain authority under 15. So if they're less authoritative websites and they're ranking for that keyword, there's a good chance that if we target that keyword with a better piece of content that serves the search intent better than the existing article that has a low DR in his ranking, that we can outrank them and also rank on the first page for that keyword. So in this case, there's a lot of these here. Say we do interior design AI tool. And here we can see that it says hard, but these keyword difficulty scores are kind of nonsense because if we look down here, we can see that actually the first ranking article has a domain rating of 11. It's outranking sites with 95, 60, 93, 48. So as you can see, this is a potential keyword that we can go after. And in this case, this first article is the complete review of AI interior design tools. So imagine if we went after this specific keyword in our URL slug and we wrote a better, more comprehensive piece of content compared to this one right here. Now, funny enough, this article is from a blogger, which is a trend. If you watch my SEO trends video, I'll link it above. I've been seeing a trend of niche bloggers outranking huge software companies, which is kind of exciting because I think niche blogging is making a comeback. So this is actually really cool and confirms that kind of hunch that I've had about the future of SEO, where you have this blogger here, Daniela, aka D, who is actually outranking a lot of people for AI interior design tools, which is probably a very valuable keyword. In fact, according to Ahrefs, the value of this keyword is almost $5,000 per month, which means that you would have to spend, in this case, $4.9 thousand per month in ad spend to show up for the keyword interior design AI tool. Pretty powerful. Okay, that's the first strategy. Type in whatever keyword that is very broad within your niche, filter by matching terms, and then filter that by the lowest DR. Now, the second strategy is using the modifier search. So same concept, matching terms, and in this case, we're gonna do a filter. This is actually how I used to do keyword research for a very long time until I started using the APTK framework Claude format. And today I only use pretty much the autocomplete strategy. I don't always use a keyword research tool for my own websites, but this is essentially can show you how the APTK framework operates, and everything in the modifiers, which again, first thing in the description that you can copy and paste into your keyword research tool, is already built into the APTK framework instructions. So in this case, we can go back to Ahrefs, type in our seed term AI tool, matching terms, and then we're going to go and click include. We're going to do any word and we're going to paste over the filters that are in the description below. As you can see, it's going to find keywords that have AI tools somewhere in them, but they also have how, why, what, examples, all of these options. I'm going to hit apply. And as you can see, there's 19 of them that I've created. You're going to hit show more. And there you go. We can see a lot of these new keyword ideas based off of that seed term that include tool. Now, as you can see, a lot of them are tools. So if it's too messy here, what we can do is try to find where it says tool or tools and remove that from the modifier. Hit apply. And now we can see why, best, lots of best. Again, if best is too many of these and you want more middle of funnel, let's just delete all of them and keep how. Search. And now we can see how to build an AI tool, how to create video from text AI tool, how to summarize YouTube video AI tool. You can see tons of different how to use AI tool in Photoshop, like tons of different modifiers that we can use. But again, I would say that this strategy is great if you do the lowest DR again. And if you're like a niche blog or a media site or a brand new website and you just want to get some traffic to your site, this is a good strategy to approach. But note that if you're going after more competitive topics, that a lot of other SEOs are doing the same thing. So it's probably better to stick to the autocomplete strategy, because a lot of people don't always approach that way of keyword research. And autocomplete shows trending searches that Ahrefs otherwise may not show, or it might show like next to no search volume, which I use the autocomplete strategy because I like to find these hidden gem keywords that I like to call, which I made a video about that broader. If you want to check it out, I'll put it up above. But that's pretty much it. At this point, our content calendar is built. It's getting built. I didn't do this for every single stage and, creating the whole spreadsheet. This video would be longer than it needs to be, but I wanted to give you the mental model on how to do keyword research the right way and the way that other people won't tell you about. So in this video, we understood what top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel keyword formats look like. We use Claude with the APTK instructions to generate topics and keyword ideas. We validated that with Google Autocomplete, and we only selected keywords that were validated. And then we also did an extra optional step to find more keyword ideas using the ChatGPT query fan out method. And then optional, I showed you finding different sort of gaps and keyword gaps within Ahrefs, but you can also use Semrush or any keyword research tool that has that same filtering functionality. So what do you do now? That was a lot. I would say start with middle of funnel and bottom of funnel keywords. These are your money keywords. These are the things that are going to convert. But over time, do not neglect the top of funnel stuff, even if you think that it's not going to drive direct business value, because you need to build that topical authority in your space. And if you're ranking for top of funnel stuff within a topic, the keywords within that same topic that are middle of funnel are going to rank better. Same with the ones that are in bottom of funnel. It all works together and it creates a tide that lifts all boats. And lastly, I want to say the best marketers that do keyword research don't always look at competitors. As you can see, we did not look at any competitors in this video. Sure, we looked at a couple articles here and there towards the end, but in the beginning, all we did was we primed Claude projects with understanding how to think like a smart SEO, and then we gave it information about our brand, about our audience, about the products that we have, and then we validated those topics and keywords with Google Autocomplete. None of that involved looking at competitors, and this is a strategy that I use for all of my clients, for all of my websites. I almost never look at competitors, and if you follow this strategy, eventually you will, over time, over a few months, you will show up for a lot of different search results in the search journey in your given niche. And your competitors will start figuring out what you're doing and they try to copy you. But if you created great content, which is going to be the next video in this series, so subscribe if you haven't already. If you have created that great content and you already targeted those keywords before your competitors have, they're not going to be able to outrank you and you'll stay at the top. So stay ahead of the curve and pave your own path. And I hope you liked this video. If you had any questions, leave a comment below. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll catch you in the next one. Much love. Peace.